Angie, thank you. Good evening, everybody. The Mariners playing some good ball. Kansas City's left town. The Mariners sweep for the first time in 11 years, a 4-game sweep. Now things get a little different, Mike. Next 15 games against plus 500 teams. Mike Karp, hopefully he can continue what he started yesterday.
Well, I think what we've seen from Karp is something that we saw from him last year in the second half of the season, and that is quality at bats. Mike has been swinging the bat well this time around. I think he's finally healthy. He ended up hurting himself in the Tokyo Dome in the opening day, so who knows what the year would have been. But the main thing is he has 2 months now getting an opportunity to play first with Smoke out, and he's taking advantage of it. He really beat up on the Kansas City pitching over the 4-game series.
Picked up 22 points on his batting average with his performance yesterday. And you got to like the fact that he used the entire yard.
Well, that and showing some power, driving the ball. You see a double right there. We saw a home run earlier, something that you'd like to see a little bit more from Mike. But the main thing is he's going to get a real opportunity. And, again, he's healthy, which has been a problem for him this year.
You know it. Iwakuma against Romero. Romero has struggled mightily. Maybe the Mariners can jump all over him. He's lost 6 in a row. Blue Jays in town with a lot of their fans here at Safeco Field. Glad you're with us here in Root Sports. It's the Blue Jays and the Mariners. First pitch straight ahead.
Mariners baseball on Root Sports, brought to you by Banner Bank. Better ideas, better banking. By CenturyLink, a different kind of communications company. CenturyLink, your link to what's next. And by the Emerald Queen Casino, where there's a world of dining opportunities from gourmet Asian cuisine to the legendary seafood buffet. Legendary because Dave Valley attacked that buffet. You can attest to how good it is. Brad Adams, Dave Valley with you out here. You got nothing for that, right? Mariners, you know what, Val? They are 11-6 since the break. That is the second best record in the American League. It really kind of been a tale of two teams as we got this graphic for you against the Royals. 7-1 against Tampa, New York, 3-3. And look at the numbers, Val. What do you see?
Well, you were talking about buffets. So the Kansas City Royals pitching staff was kind of like a buffet for the Seattle Mariners. Right, 7-1. They had a batting average of 320. But against Tampa Bay and the Yankees, quite a different story, hitting only 149, scoring just 2.3 runs per game. But the good thing was they were still able to play 500 baseball against both the Rays and the Yankees. Now the Toronto Blue Jays are coming in. They're going to be a little bit better, so it'll be interesting to see if the Mariners continue to be able to take this offense forward from what we saw with the Kansas City Royals.
Kind of build on that momentum. A 4-game sweep of the Royals. Jays in town first and 3 on the way. Other side of the break, you've got lineups. First pitch with Dave and Mike. Jays and Mariners, keep it here on Root Sports.
Got a couple of good options to get to Safeco Field. You can take I-90, or you can go northbound on 4th Avenue. In any event, you're going to be here at the ballpark Safeco Field tonight as the Mariners open up a 3-game series, wrapping up this homestand against the Toronto Blue Jays. Welcome, everybody. Dave Sims, Mike Flowers, and the Root Sports crew. We are ready for action. Let's take a look at the Blue Jay lineup. They're the #1 scoring team in baseball. They'll be facing Hisashi Iwakuma.
They're also second in home runs this year. But leading things off, former A, Rajay Davis, the DH, in the leadoff spot. That is Rasmus. Brett Laurie hitting third for him. Encarnacion, you want to stay away from him. 28 home runs on the year for him. Then it's Snyder, Escobar, Johnson, Mathis, and Ghost rounding out the 9 for the Blue Jays. Numbers for Iwakuma on the year. He'll mix it up. Fastball will be about 91 miles an hour. Use a curveball and a slider. Occasional changeup and a split. 51 in the third innings for Iwakuma. 37 strikeouts, 25 walks. That's a high number. He needs to stay away from that this afternoon or this evening when he faces the Jays. Giving up 10 home runs on the year.
Blue Jays take a look at the defense for the Mariners.
Wells in left field, Saunders in center, Carlos Peguero getting the start out in right. And on the infield, normal infield today, Seager at third, Ryan and Ackley playing up the middle, Mike Karp, the first baseman. Jesus Montero will get the call. He will be behind the dish in this evening's game. Iwakuma, his last start against the Yankees, 96 pitches, pitched well, 5 innings, 6 hits, 1 run. It was earned.
Here we go. First pitch outside to Rajay Davis. Plate umpires Brian Gorman, Todd Titchener at first, Tony Rendezvous at second, and Bob Davidson at third. We want to keep Davis off the base paths. He's got 28 stolen bases. Second to Mike Trout's 31 in the American League. Davis DHing tonight. Foul ball.
Trying to catch a little bit of a break. A couple of hitters on the DL for the Blue Jays. You have Aaron Sevilla, the catcher, Adam Lynn, the first baseman, and the big one is Jose Bautista, who wasn't swinging well when we were in Toronto, Dave, but he certainly turned his season around, but now he is on the disabled list.
Bautista, among the leaders in home runs. What do you figure? 7, 8, 9 pitches we saw him just miss when we were in Toronto. In late April, Mariners lost 2 out of 3 up there. And then in May and June, he went on a rampage. Home runs, and you're going to hear a lot of Blue Jay fans here tonight. It is a huge Blue Jay contingent. Folks coming down from British Columbia. They're wearing their blue, and they're making themselves heard tonight.
And no surprise, a lot of Brett Lawrie t-shirts, jerseys here in the stands.
2-2 pitch. Missed away. Full count to Davis. Blue Jays coming in having won 2 of 3 against Detroit. That was in Toronto. They're 11-12 in a month. That's some Oiler fans. Shoot that puck, score that goal, get a couple points in their building, eh? There's a drive deep to left. Going back, Wells. It is gone. Home run, Rajay Davis. 1-0 Toronto.
6th home run of the year for Davis. We mentioned that Jays #2 in home runs in the American League. We expect some of the guys in the middle of their lineup with some power, but Davis, his 6th home run of the season. Take a look at it. Pitch in the middle of the plate on a 3-2 count. And he hits it. It'll actually ricochet off the camera stand and come back into the field of play as Wells goes up trying to make the catch, but it's clearly over the fence.
J.R. Dexter, good job with the shot and getting out of harm's way. 503 runs for the Blue Jays, the most in baseball. There's Colby Erasmus. Second-year manager John Farrell said his productivity a lot bigger than they anticipated. He's got 18 homers and 64 runs batted in. Former St. Louis Cardinal, teammate with Brendan Ryan. Breaking ball for strike. 381 feet on the home run by Davis. Rasmus is gone, 1 down. His career leadoff home run. Rajay Davis, local favorite. Brett Lawrie. Lawrie out of Langley, British Columbia, lives in Peoria, Arizona now. There's a guy I remember a couple of weeks ago, they were playing in New York. Fell into the camera well. Missed a couple of games. To right field, towards the line. Guerrero, no play.
Yeah, he was fortunate. He ended up, I think, bruising his calf. And that was it. So he was fortunate because that's quite a drop after he went over the railing.
I said, you'd played there before, right? He says, yeah, I'd played there before. He says, I had it all away, and then I got close. I said, well, let's go for it. Next thing you know, he says, I was turned over. I was up in the air, and I fell a long ways and banged the calf on the railing on the way down. He's very lucky.
Very lucky.
One, 2. Rajay Davis's first career leadoff homer. 1-0 Toronto. .67 degrees, cloudy skies and calm here at Safeco Field. 0-2 to Laurie.
One of the things with the Iwakuma that we've seen him do is constantly change speeds. He uses a lot of breaking balls, will change speeds on his breaking ball. Use a split and a change up.
Strike 3 call. Nice pitch by Iwakuma. Back-to-back strikeouts, 2 down.
And after all those off-speed pitches, throws him a fastball at 91 miles an hour on the outside corner. Laurie takes it. I think he thought this pitch was off the plate away. Frank Gorman rings him up.
So 2 down, a run in. Here's the dangerous Edwin Encarnacion. He did a lot of damage to the Mariners back in April, and his numbers are outstanding. 299, 28 homers, 72 runs batted in. Fourth in runs, tied with Curtis Granderson, 28 home runs. Only the Yankees have hit more home runs. Tied for fourth in ribbies with Fielder. Total bases, he's having a great year. Utro hit a home run, I'm told. The Yankees trail 5-4. Matter of fact, they lose 5-4, just went final. Lose at home to Baltimore. Dwayne Murphy, hitting coach for Toronto, since this year the difference with Encarnacion, he's got a really good game plan every time he goes up to bat. Boy, has it paid off.
And we've seen him do that. Middle in is a bad area to pitch him in. You have to keep the ball away from him, Dave, and if you can throw the breaking ball out there, even better. Hey, we hear Eric Wedge talking about hunting the fastball. That's what this young man does, and something that's middle in, he will turn on it. So a little bit of an open stance for him.
Off the fist, gets it down to Ackley. Throws him out, that'll do it. A run across for Toronto on the leadoff homer by Rajay Davis. Toronto 1, Mariners coming to bat. Down 1-0 on this home run on a 3-2 pitch. Leadoff man Rajay Davis. He goes deep. Let's see if the Mariners can quickly respond. They've been doing a great job scoring early recently. Here's Mike with the batting order.
Nice starting lineups brought to you by Chevron. Leading things off, it will be Dustin Ackley. Then Michael Saunders. See what he's done against the Blue Jays this year. 364 with a couple of home runs. One of those home runs, a grand slam. Saunders hitting 282 against left-handed pitching this year. It'll be Montero, Jaso, Seager, Wells, Carp, Figueroa, and Ryan. Eric Wedge putting a couple of extra left-handed hitters in the lineup. You take a look at the numbers for Romero. Romero this year, lefties hitting 291 off of him. So Eric Wedge getting Figueroa and Jaso both in the lineup. The defense behind Romero, you have Snyder in left, Rasmus is in center field, Ghost is in right. And on the infield, Laurie playing third base, Escobar and Johnson up the middle, and Encarnacion is the first baseman, and Jeff Mathis, the former Angel, will do the catching tonight.
12 players under the DL. do the Toronto Blue Jays. Pierre and Sebia, the regular catcher. Ackley's fans out in the upper deck in right field. Dustin at 224. How about Romero's problems? He started out really well. He was 11-4 through June 22nd. Since then, he's lost at Boston, at Kansas City, at the White Sox, to Cleveland, at the Yankees, and to Oakland, 6 in a row.
And we've always liked him, so it's a surprise to see him struggle like that. He has a good fastball. His fastball will be 92 to 94 miles an hour. Maybe top out at 95, but he also has an excellent changeup. Part of the reason why left-handers hit him so well.
John Farrell, second-year manager, says, where's that tough kid from East L.A. we've seen the last couple of years? He's really, this last 6 starts, really been problematic for him. The team's not scored a lot for him either. Only scored a run for him in his last 4 starts and 7 runs over his last 6. Breaking ball hammered down into the corner. Extra bases for Ackley. Digging it out is Anthony Ghost, and here is Ackley rolling into second with his 16th double. And a good start for the Mariners.
Part of the reason why Romero has struggled against left-handers. He makes a mistake with a breaking ball, leaves it in. It's a middle-end pitch. Ackley hits it hard down into the corners. You take a look at the swing on our McDonald Supermo. But he's trying to get that pitch away, the breaking ball. He's been hurt on his changeup to the left-handers, and he leaves it middle in, and Ackley makes him pay for it.
Talking to a couple of guys in Toronto, they said hitters have been just blowing off the changeup, blowing off the curve, waiting on the fastball.
Eliminating pitches, if you can do that, because the pitcher's struggling to throw them for strikes. Great bunt, great bunt.
No chance to get him. First and third, well done by Michael Saunders.
Something that Michael has shown that he can do. And you don't see many hitters try to take the bunt with them. It's a smart play with a lefty on the mound. As you take a look at Saunders, he wants to bunt this firmly past the mound, with Romero, the left-hander, falling off towards the third base side. And once he gets it by the pitcher, Saunders gets an easy base hit. Excellent play.
So the Mariners in business, first and third here in the bottom of the first inning, and it brings up Jesus Montero, the #1 hitter in the American League, against lefty pitching at a 370 clip. He's 2 for 6 with a home run against Romero.
We're talking about Romero's struggles, but you look at the Blue Jays, part of their team struggles is their pitching. 12th overall in ERA. They've had more issues than just Romero with their pitching.
Well, Morrow was going really well. We saw him up there, and then they lost 3 pitchers in 4 days, 2 of them on the 9th pitch in successive games. Strike 1.
There you go. Since June 27th, what he has done, an 0-6 record, ERA over 10, and opponent's average at 364. That's not what you're looking for. And again, surprising when you look at his stuff.
He's been a good pitcher. 0-1. Lost Morrow to the DL, Draybeck to the DL, Hutchinson to the DL. 3 starters in 4 nights. Morrow's got his first rehab stint. He did it yesterday. He's out another 6 weeks. One to Montero. Outside snap. Throw back safely.
Good play by Encarnacion. He bounced the ball down there, and he was able to pick it. Mathis, known for his defense, struggled offensively with the Angels before coming over. You take a look at the pick at first base. Easily could have gone down the right field line. But Mathis, good defensive catcher, but a poor throw there.
2-1 to Montero.
Trying to stay in on the hands of Montero. Some good fastballs, 3 fastballs inside to Montero.
Blue Jays have played their best ball against the American League Central. They're 17-10 against that group. In their division of tough AL East, 15-19. They got a lot of games left with the Yankees. 2-2 in the dirt. Here's a look at the staff. John Farrell in his second year was the pitching coach in Boston. Don Wakamatsu, the former Mariner manager. Dwayne Murphy, outstanding outfielder with the A's. Bruce Walton, Torey Lovullo, and Brian Butterfield. Payoff here to Montero. On deck hitter John Jaso. Saunders takes off and it hit the umpire. Oh my goodness gracious. It hit Tony Rendazzo.
Hopefully he's okay.
Boy, he's more stunned and scared, I'll bet, than anything. Rick Griffin, the Mariners head athletic trainer, rushes out. Boy, did that square him up. Oh my goodness.
I couldn't tell where it hit him. Could you, Dave?
I'm hoping it was his shoulder area.
Yeah.
And as he moved it, he moved right into it because it was slicing.
Yeah, he thought he was getting out of the way, and really he was going back into it. Take a look at this vicious line drive off the bat of Montero. Trying to get out of the way. It hit him in the side. Okay.
Yeah, hit him in the hip.
Okay.
Yeah. Boy.
Outside of an ugly bruise, he should be all right. Saunders running on the pitch, and you can see the second baseman Johnson trying to go back. Might have had a play on it. So a break for the Mariners. This might have been a double play. Man. I think it would have been. It looked like Johnson was going to catch it in the air.
They had no reaction time.
Right.
Talk about fortunate. Glad it got him on the hip. He's probably angry with himself that he couldn't get out of the way.
Take another look at it. McDonald Supermo. At least he starts to turn.
Yeah.
Takes it maybe in the rib cage.
Yeah, it looks like a little bit above the belt. And knocked the wind out of it. Ooh, man.
Ackley, thinking the ball was going to be caught, ended up staying at third, so the Mariners have a bases loaded and nobody out situation after that. Oh, that was scary.
I'll tell you what, that might be one of the harder balls Montero's hit all year too. Well, you gotta like this situation. Bases loaded, nobody out. John Jaso, the leading hitter for the Mariners, at 287 at the dish. All one. Seen umpires get hit before, but not that hard. One of just an absolute mess. There's a strike, 1-1. Ajay Davis, leadoff homer. Toronto on top of it. Here the Mariners double, bunt, and a line drive off the umpire, loading them up here in the first inning.
No, it's dead ball once it hits the umpire. So Ackley, that's the reason why Ackley had to go back. I never thought he left.
Bouncing ball to the second baseman Johnson. Escobar for one, over to first to Encarnacion for the double play. Run scores, tie ball game at 1-1. Saunders, he goes down to third. Double play. Waves two-out situation. Man at third, and let's play. Leave it to Seager. Mr. Two-out RBI.
Yeah, he's really done a great job in these situations this year.
Slicing drive, left field, base hit, another two-out RBI for Kyle Seager, and the Mariners have a 2-1 lead.
What an approach he has. He wants to swing the bat early in the count. Kyle says he likes the ball out over the plate. Doesn't try to do too much with it. Again, that's the key. He had a base hit back up the middle yesterday to drive in a couple of runs with 2 outs. But you can see that fastball out over the plate, just serves it into left field. Solid line drive into left. So hitting with runners in scoring position, something he has really done a great job of this year. But now 37 2-out RBIs this year. That leads all of baseball.
That is impressive. What a jump. Uh-oh, they got him to run down, throw it out a second. He's out. Well, he does the job, gets another 2-out RBI. And the Mariners quickly respond to the Davis home run with 2 runs of their own. It's 2-1 Seattle. Lead as we go to the second. Hey, if you follow the Mariners online, you won't want to miss next Wednesday, this Wednesday, social media night right here at Safeco Field for $11. $11, you're going to get a ticket to the game against these Blue Jays. A unique Mariner T-shirt, and you're going to be part of an exclusive pregame event where Sean Kelly, Lucas Lidke, Charlie Furbush, Shannon Dreyer, myself, and others are scheduled to appear, talk Mariner baseball and social media. Pick up your tickets. Go get it. Mariners.com/social media. $11 for the ticket. Can't beat it. Travis Snyder, Yunel Escobar, and Kelly Johnson here in the second inning.
Travis Snyder, a local product from Mill Creek.
235, 3 homers, 8 runs batted in. Swing 2-1. He had his best year in the big leagues 2 years ago. 14 homers, 32 runs batted in 82 games. He was up and down last year, just 49 games, 3 homers and 30 runs batted in.
Good to see the Mariners come out and score a couple of runs off of Romero. We were talking about his struggles. You see Felix certainly not struggling. He has been something, but you want to take advantage of a pitcher when he's struggling and his confidence maybe is down, and the Mariners able to do that. The ball, if you look at it overall, was hit hard other than the bunt. A solid double from Ackley, a bunt base hit from Saunders, a line drive, of course, off of Montero, and then Seager hitting a line drive into left.
Good response. Got a 2-2 count. And Montero holds on. Strikeout number 3 for Akuma.
Like a sinker, 87 miles an hour running off of the outside corner. He gets a piece of it, and Montero hangs on to it. Already the third strikeout for Iwakuma in the game.
Here's Yunel Escobar, the shortstop. Ball one. Blue Jays record here in the month of July, 11 and 12. Considering all their injuries, that's pretty good. Good pitch by Iwakuma.
Good looking slider at 84 miles an hour on the outside corner.
Escobar in his third season with Toronto. Check himself. Broke in with the Atlanta Braves. Full-time shortstop with the Braves in 09. 141 games. 14 homers. 76 runs batted in and 89 runs, all career bests. 2-1 pitch. Down low for ball three. On deck hitter, Kelly Johnson. And Iwakuma, first walk of the ball game. A one-out base runner for Toronto brings up Kelly Johnson, the second baseman.
Johnson 238, 11 home runs. A good series against the Mariners, 4 for 12.
Kelly, veteran of big league war since 2005 with Atlanta. Bunt and a good one. Iwakuma for the first, then hits the runner in the back. Going down to third is Escobar. Exactly, backing up the play, gets the ball back in.
Saunders with a bunt base hit. Now Johnson trying the same thing. It looked like Iwakuma. Give Iwakuma an error. It looked like he slipped. I think it was his right foot went out from under him as he started to throw towards first. Ends up throwing it up the line. Awkward looking throw. You can see his feet go out from underneath him.
Never really got a solid grip either with our Donald Supermo. You can really see that, and goes way inside beyond the right shoulder of Johnson. So now one out runners at the corners. There's Jeff Mathis, former Angel catcher.
Had a good July, hitting 290 in July, 253 overall with 5 home runs.
Oh, there was a big contingent. His safety squeeze was on. Fouls it off. Blue Jays beat the Mariners 2 out of 3. Weekend of April 27, 28, 29. Mariners return to Ontario middle of September. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday evening, the 11th, 12th, and 13th of September. Showed bunt. Runners held. Count at 1-1.
It looks like he wants to push it towards first. So Carp, once Iwakuma starts home, he needs to get off of the bag and charge in, see if maybe he can make a play.
One pitch. Runner goes, swung on, slow chopper, charged by Singer, play at the plate, and a nice block by Montero. Cuts down Escobar. Well done.
Turned out, yeah, because of the fake bunts, this little swinging bunt, Kyle already playing in front of the bag at third, turns out to be an easy play for him. Key is get the throw back to the inside part of the diamond so you don't hit the runner in the back. But Kyle, you can see him playing up in front of the bag. Montero blocking the plate.
Drop that knee on him. Right out of the textbook. 2 outs. Mathis at first. Kelly Johnson down at second. Fielder's choice. 5-2. Anthony Ghost. Nice hop for Carp. Flips to Iwakuma. Beats the hustling Ghost, and that will do it for Toronto in the second. They leave a couple. Mariners lead it 2-1. Second coming up. Take a look at the Mariners calendar brought to you by Sleep Country USA. As we mentioned, next 15 games against plus 500 teams. Big road trip going to New York, Baltimore, and Anaheim, and then Tampa Bay comes into town, followed by the Minnesota Twins. We were surprised by the speculation of Morneau might get moved to the Twins. Casper Wells leading it off, takes a strike.
I was not. I think we're going to see Mauer over there, and what Willingham has done for him, I don't know. I think that they need some help in Minnesota. Obviously a team that is struggling, so a pretty good hitter, whoever gets him, if they do get Morneau.
Especially if he's now
healthy,
back.
yeah.
Cubs just made an in-game deal. Angie Mentink will have details coming up shortly. 1-1 to Wells. Wells 1 for 4 against Romero.
Trade deadline over at 1 o'clock Pacific Standard Time tomorrow. See how much movement happens overnight tonight.
Fascinating following MajorLeagueTradeRumors.com. Man, every minute something. Well, so and so's not going to. It's like
Don't
gossiping.
Do it to yourself.
It's like gossiping back in high school or college or something. Well, so and so's talking to so and so.
Jason, part of those rumors.
3-1 to Wells. Bouncing ball hit to Johnson. It takes time. Goes over to Encarnacion for the first out. Bring up Mike Carp, coming off a big day yesterday. 3 for 4, 2 runs scored, 2 runs knocked in. Make that 3 for 4, beg your pardon, 3 for 4 with a run and a ribby. Took his batting average from 180 to 202. Going to Mike.
Mike, 104 at bats on the year. And health being an issue for him. Hurt himself in the opener in Tokyo. Tried to come back from it. Wasn't quite right. Now he's finally healthy.
Breaking ball beats him there. 0-2.
3 for 4 yesterday with a couple of doubles.
How many times you hear about guys come back too soon? You know, when you're young, you're in your 20s, you feel like you're bulletproof. It starts to feel pretty good. You got to get back in there. You want to get your time.
Well, you do, and I think for a lot of those guys, when they go through the workouts and they feel good, but once you get up to game speed and you're in there for real, I think that's when you find out that you still have a problem, that you're not completely healthy, and then you just try to play through it. That rarely works.
Left field. That is a foul ball.
And you and I see it all the time. The guys will come out early and go through the paces, do their running drills and all of those things, which is basically all you can do. But once you get into the game and you're diving and sliding and you turn it up a notch speed-wise, try to bust it out of the box, it's hard to simulate that stuff.
Right, exactly. Different, your adrenaline goes and the body can't respond.
Yeah, or you try to, you need to be careful.
A chance, there's a base hit for Carp, hit a breaking ball. And he's a one-out base runner here for the Mariners in the second inning.
Well, you think you're going to be careful up there, and all of a sudden you hit a chopping ground ball. Yep, you can think you have a chance for a hit. You bust it out of the box, and then you have more problems. So it's good to see Mike healthy finally. He gets a solid base hit back up the middle. This is what we saw from him yesterday. Off-speed pitch that he hits hard back up the middle.
Here's Carlos Peguero. Wedge looking at the pitching matchups coming up. Got Aaron Laffey, the former Mariner, pitching tomorrow. Want to make sure, didn't want Jaso and Peguero to have to sit for too long. And you mentioned earlier, the left-handers have had success against Romero, so get these guys in there.
Well, the 4 left-handers that faced him, 4 out of the 5 have base hits here in the game early. Jaso hitting into a double play. Ackley, Saunders with base hits. Seager with a base hit. Now Carp with a base hit. 28 pitches total for Romero. 19 strikes.
Peguero quickly behind, 0-2. Attention getter. Was it Lucas Litke undressed Raul Ibanez last week?
Yeah, put him on his back. Ended up getting a strikeout with a slider. Lucas pitched well. Oliver Perez, the other left-hander, out in the bullpen for the Mariners.
Blew a save, got a win yesterday. Look out behind him.
That was a breaking ball.
Going down to second base on the wild pitch is Carp. Boy, they weren't kidding the Toronto people about talking about his breaking ball and changeup.
He throws this breaking ball behind Peguero. Not much break to it. Almost hits Peguero's bat as he tries to duck and get out of the way. You can see how far back Mathis had to reach to try to get to it. That's a wild pitch. Mariners have a runner in scoring position as Carp moves up to second.
2-2 to Peguero. Romero with that wild pitch. That's his 4th of the season. John Farrell, formerly the pitching coach with the Boston Red Sox, playing without his best player, Jose Bautista. He check. Nope, he did not. Bob Davidson rings him up. Peguero's gone. 2 outs. First strikeout for Romero.
Looks like he buries a changeup in the dirt. Peguero out in front of it. Mathis able to block it and keep it in front of him. The Mariners now 3 for 5 here early in the ballgame with men in scoring position.
Brendan Ryan, the hitter. Trying to pick up a run here with 2 outs. Way upstairs. Ryan on the homestand, 5 for 16. Looking for his first hit against Toronto. Off the glove of Mathis, down to third goes Carp. Pass ball. And a 2-0 count for Ryan.
Say Mathis, he just, fastball right off the thumb, boxed it. Certainly a pass ball. So a wild pitch and a pass ball, and Carp is around at third.
Laurie off his glove. He'll eat it. Run scores. 3-1 Mariners. A smash off the bat of Brendan Ryan, an E5 that'll plate another run. As Carp scores.
2-0 pitch. Brendan hits it hard, but it's a one-hopper right at the third baseman. Laurie, you can see his glove was up. Tried to get it back down in time. Want to start from the ground and move up. You can move quicker that way, and Laurie ends up making an error. So the Mariners, a wild pitch, a pass ball, and an error, and they pick up a run.
Whatever it takes.
I agree.
13th error. Most on the ball club for Laurie. Top of the order. Strike to Ack. Strike to Ackley, 0-2. Mariners on this 11-6 run since the All-Star break. Get them back to 10 games under 500. First time since June 19th. Missed outside. It's the start of the last road trip. Mariners 10-4. Got a piece of it. Not the same Romero we've seen previously.
No. Yeah, his breaking ball isn't doing much, and Ackley ended up hitting a double off of that breaking ball. We've seen him throw one to the backstop. It's just kind of all over the place, not consistently in the strike zone with his fastball to set up the good changeup. Having a tough time getting to his best pitch.
1-2. Up. That'll get out of play. Romero in 6 previous starts against the Mariners, 1-1, a 3.51 ERA. Last time the Mariners saw him, April 27th. No decision in a 9-5 Mariner win. 1-2 to Ackley. One-two pitch. Ryan back safely. Ryan 7 out of 12 in base stealing.
It's not a bad time to try. You have Ackley, your leadoff hitter, at the plate. Try to get down in the scoring position. If they throw you out, Ackley will lead off next inning. Talking about it at the start of the game, eliminating the curveball, eliminating the changeup. You can see why. Only thing that he has decent command of is his fastball. It's topped out at 95 miles an hour.
Runner goes. Off-speed pitch. Off the plate and an easy stolen base for Ryan. His 8th of the season.
This will be the 8th pitch of this at bat coming up to Ackley. Romero here trying to work through 2 innings already. 41 pitches.
Balls, 2 strikes, 2 out, man at second. Breaking ball, strike 3 called. Got it over that time. Second strikeout of the inning and the game for Romero. Mariners pick up another run. It's 3-1 Seattle. Top of the order for Toronto, Rajai Davis leading off the 3rd. Davis, Rasmussen, Laurie against Hisashi Iwakuma. Mariners lead at 3-1. 3-2 pitch leading off the game. Davis homered, his 6th and RBI number 26. One of the fastest men in baseball. Not surprisingly, Iwakuma trying to stay away from him. Strike 2-1. Bouncing ball goes foul. Fielded by Seager.
Take a look at the home run from Davis. Gets a fastball middle of the plate on a 3-2 count. Iwakuma not wanting to walk the leadoff hitter, as Dave mentioned. He can run. 28 stolen bases on the year, but he ends up hitting a home run on that fastball.
2 weeks ago, he ended an 0 for 25. Double at New York. Strikes him out. And a strikeout number 4 for Iwakuma. One down here in the Toronto 3rd inning. Time now for AT&T trivia question. How many 4-game series sweeps have the Mariners had at Safeco Field? 3, 8, 13, or 18? I'm going with A.
3?
Yeah. Not with a ton of confidence, but I'm going to go with
3-game sweeps. Sweeping anybody is tough. You throw that extra game in there.
Sure. High drive off the bat of Colby Rasmussen. It's staying in the ballpark. Figueroa's under it. 2 outs.
I would normally agree with him. I'll go with 8. I think that 2001 team maybe made it a little bit lopsided. They won everything. 116 wins. They had to have a few 4-game sweeps, I would think.
Brett Laurie with 2 outs coming to the bat. Took a called 3rd strike on an 0-2 pitch.
So far, he has not had a good game. Strikeout looking, and then an error that cost his club a run.
All right, come on, Mariners. Come on, Nick.
Fouled into Montero's glove. Iwakuma had 3 strikeouts in 5 innings in his last start tonight. 2 1/3, 2 2/3. He's already got 4. Early results going with 8. 0-2. Struck him out. How about Iwakuma? What a great inning. Couple of strikeouts. Now the 1-hole, the leadoff man, and the 3-hole hitter Laurie. 3-1 Mariners. First of 3 with the Blue Jays. Their only visit to Seattle this year. Mariners lead at 3-1. And make sure you follow the Mariners with the MLB.com at Bet12 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, and BlackBerry, and Windows Mobile. You get live audio, pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. So text it BAT to 31826 or visit Mariners.com for details. Here's Michael Saunders. Pops this one out of play. Laid down a perfect bunt, pushed it right at the second baseman, beat it out.
Perfect timing for that bunt right after the double of Ackley. Nobody out leading the game off. Catch him by surprise, and with Romero falling off to the first base side, it's an easy base hit for Saunders. Saunders coming into the game hitting .282 off of left-handers.
Michael batting second today. Was in a 3-hole yesterday. Went 2 for 5. 0-2. Base hit just the second off of Romero. 2 for 9 against Ricky. Broke his bat. Laurie, take it. Throw him out. Couple of Canadians competing there. Laurie from British Columbia, as is Michael Saunders. Montero had an interesting at bat his first time up, worked the 3-2 count, and then hit a slicing missile that got the second base umpire, Tony Randazzo, like right above his belt. knocked him down. Tony's a tough guy. And playing near the shortstop right now. There's nobody on.
And I think that would have been him hitting the umpire was a break for the Mariners, because it looked like Johnson was in position to catch the line drive. Saunders was running on the play, so they would have had a double play.
Yeah, not Saunders. Kelly Johnson was covering and looked like he had broken back correctly.
Right.
And he was in good range.
He was in good position to make the catch.
Yep.
And then it hits the umpire. Dead ball, bases loaded instead of a double play. Take a look at the play as it goes by Romero back up the middle. You can see Johnson reaching back, and the shot from home plate, it looked like he was right there to make the catch. Again, Saunders running, so Johnson went to cover the bag. The ball hit back up the middle, and he looked like he was in good shape to make that catch, and that would have been a double play. Randazzo ended up being fine. Probably got a good bruise underneath that jacket.
1-2 pitch beats Montero. Third strikeout for Romero. 2 outs here in the third.
Then right after that, line drive off the umpire. Jaso came up. He hit into a double play, but the Mariners scored a run. Actually scored on the play.
Strike one to John. Jaso 2 for 5 against Romero. To the ball outside, 1-1. Another foul ball, 1-2. Blue Jays come into tonight's game 4th place, 5-team American League East, behind the Yankees, Baltimore, Tampa Bay, and just ahead of Boston. One and 2 to Jaso. Strike 3 called. Good inning for Romero. It's his 4th strikeout. 4th inning coming up. 3-1 Mariners.
Lead at 3-1. Hi, everybody. Angie Mentink here at the Ford Sports Desk. I know the trade deadline isn't until tomorrow, but the Cubs busy selling everything. A fire sale in Chicago so far. They sent catcher and 2008 NL Rookie of the Year Giovanni Soto to Texas in exchange for AA pitcher Jacob Brigham. Soto hitting just $1.99 this season. Then in another deal, the Cubs have agreed to send lefty Paul Maholm and outfielder Reed Johnson to Atlanta. But guys, we're still waiting on word on who the Braves send in return. Now, we all thought that Ryan Dempster was going to be moved, but as of yet, he is still in place. Gentlemen?
All right, Angie, thank you. Going to be a lot of details up to that deadline at 1 p.m. Pacific time, deadline tomorrow.
I think Dempster, I would be shocked if he is still around by then.
5 and 10 guy. It sounded like he was going to Atlanta at one point. Then L.A. is in the picture.
He said he'd rather go to the Dodgers, didn't he?
That was the last I remember hearing. Yeah, earlier this afternoon. Encarnacion leading off. Travis Snyder and Yunel Escobar to follow. 0-2 pitch.
Good pitch right at the bottom of the strike zone in the middle of the plate. Iwakuma still mixing things up. 50% fastballs, the rest off speed pitches.
1-2. And the outside corner. Encarnacion saying it was way outside. Got a beef with Brian Gorman. He's not going to win that one. That's 6 strikeouts for Iwakuma.
And that is a real veteran umpire right there, because some of these younger guys, they would not hear that. It looks like a good pitch. Okay. Yeah, he disagrees, and then he just continues as Iwakuma paints a fastball in the outside corner. But I thought that Encarnacion was able to get away with a lot. Fortunate that he ended up getting that extra pitch, because a pitch before that was a strike.
Here's Travis Snyder. Big separation. Veteran guys, they've heard it, they've been there. Their tolerance level might be such. He's not agitated to this point. Hey, younger guy, boom. Right?
Younger umpire.
Younger umpire, yeah.
For sure.
Done.
The minute he leaned and pointed out over the plate, it would have been over.
Bouncing ball goes foul.
That would have been the end of his evening.
Remember when Ichiro did that a couple of years ago? Where was that, Texas?
Oh, yeah.
He laid the bat down. Oh, man. He was run so fast. Oh, man.
I mean, I've seen guys draw a line in the dirt, you know, where they're showing where the ball actually was. And they got run, but they expected to at that point. You know you're not getting away with that. But it was great to see Brian Gorman let him bend a little bit and then move on with the game. Didn't say anything to him. Good to see. I think that's an excellent job right there.
0-2. Time now for your CenturyLink high-speed pitch. Ricky Romero 95 miles an hour and Iwakuma 92. Talking to other players, boy, they agree with you. You know, get the veteran guy. I mean, he understands what you guys are going through.
You're competing, and you know, in an instant, you get set off, and as long as you don't make it personal, I think that just let them vent for a second. They'll turn around and go back to the dugout. You don't have to get all fired up with them.
Well, like you're talking to umpires and say, okay, let you have your rope. That's enough. That's it. I heard.
If you want to stay around, we're done here.
Right.
That's fair.
No doubt.
I mean, we've seen them actually chase players around, basically trying to get them to say something or to do something so they can toss them, which is ridiculous.
I don't remember this
year. Great job by Bryant right
there. But a couple of years, last year, we saw a lot of that where guys were
younger guys
were chasing.
Yeah.
Tom Gorman is dead. Late dead was a great umpire in the National League for a long time. Outside, walker in by Snyder. That is the second walk by Iwakuma. Trivia results, let's see. 4-game sweeps. I went with A3. Mike went with B8. Survey says fans went with B8. 3. Got one right for a change. A lucky stab, the dart.
I knew 2001 had to have at least one. I figured a couple. That's tough to sweep anybody.
Yunel Escobar, the shortstop. Way outside. Iwakuma with 6 strikeouts. We're in the 4th. Walk 2.
About the Angels jumping all over the Rangers in Arlington, 15-8.
Kendrys Morales drove in 6. That is through the hole, a base hit. Good effort by Ryan. Let's check in with Angie with more on that Angels-Rangers game.
Guys, the Angels trying to close the gap between the Angels and the Rangers. We take a look at this game as promised. Let's go take a look at it. Top of the 6th, score tied at 3, and the wheels fall off for Texas. Kendrys Morales goes deep, not once, but twice in the same inning. First a 2-run shot, then a grand slam, and that was all part of a 9-run inning for the Angels. 15-8 would be the final score in our Sterling Bank scoreboard, guys.
All right, Angie, thank you very much.
Angels get to within 3.5.
Yes, sir. Morales, 3rd player in baseball history to homer from both sides of the plate in the same inning. Kelly Johnson, 2 on, 1 out. Looks at a strike. Kelly reached on a throwing error by Iwakuma.
Tampa Bay Rays in Oakland, 2-2 in the 4th.
Your thoughts on that Oakland ball club?
Surprising, I think. You look at the pitching that they ended up getting rid of over the course of the winter, and now still pitching well, but Reddick and Cespedes, the difference for them.
Yeah, it was almost like when Billy Beane made those moves, it's almost like running up the white flag, and now it's just the complete opposite effect.
Well, I think that you and I both, we saw Reddick with Boston. We liked him, looked like a nice player. I didn't think he would do what he has been doing this year, 20-plus home runs on the year. And then Cespedes, you never know what you're going to get there, but what they ended up getting is what's going to be a star. So
that's with a capital S.
Yes. They're playing well.
Swing and a miss. Goodbye to Kelly Johnson. Strikeout number 7 for Iwakuma. The other 2 players who have homered in the same inning from both sides of the plate in Major League history. Morales did it tonight. Carlos Baerga and Mark Bellhorn. The other 2 who have done it in baseball history. 2 down here in the 4th. Jeff Mathis, the catcher. Toronto got it. Toronto leadoff homer by Rajay Davis. Mariners come right back with 2 in the bottom of the 1st. Ground ball to Ackley. And Iwakuma gets out of a 2-on situation and does a good job to escape. Coming up for the Mariners, Seager, Wells, and Carp.
Today's Tracer Technology is brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
3-1 Mariners lead. Cloudy night, very comfortable night here at Seattle. Safeco Field, Dave Sims, Mike Flowers and the Root Sports crew. A lot of action going on at the pen as per usual. And a whole bunch of guests from Canada coming down from British Columbia to watch their Blue Jays against the Mariners. Here's Kyle Seager. Got a 2-out RBI in the first. It's strike one. Mariners 1-2 against Toronto. It's 2 out of 3 in Toronto. Early April, late April, early part of the season.
I thought it was interesting today looking at the notes. Jay Buhner, we're talking about 2-out RBIs, but Jay with a 60, that's club record, 2-out RBIs in a season. That was in '95. And then Kyle this year in the percentage of what he has done, and that's for the team on the amount of runs that they have scored and what he has done. So you can see how high that percentage is, 27%.
That's extraordinary.
It is. That's a pretty good pace that he is on when you consider Jay having the record at 60. Kyle at 37, and he has a couple of months to work with, but the percentage, Jay at 19% of the runs, that's 2-out RBIs, by the way, for the entire team. Jay at 19%, Kyle at 27%, so a quarter of the runs Kyle has driven in with 2 outs that the entire team has put up.
56 more games for him too.
Yeah, he's
got a 2-2 count. Line drive.
Great
That's
play.
a heck of a catch. It looked like he might have thought about shutting it down after a couple of steps. Rasmus was playing shallow, but he stayed with it, and great closing speed.
Well, a couple of things on this. As you see in our McDonald's Supermo, Rasmus diving in to take this base hit away from Kyle, who stung it. Solid line drive back up the middle, but the scouting report of the Jays and Rasmus playing shallow, and then the great jump. As soon as the ball is hit, he came charging in. That's what let him make that play. I think a hit away from Kyle. Kyle's hit the ball hard 2 times in a row off of Romero.
Here's Casper Wells, grounded out the second, first time up. And he drives one. Going back Rasmus. And he makes that catch as well. 2 outs.
Well, Romero hasn't fooled anybody in this, in a couple of line drives to center field. Fortunate to get 2 outs, but you can see what he's done tonight. 4-seam fastball, 72% of the time. That's a lot of fastballs. Throw the 2-seamer in there with that. 78% of his pitches have been fastballs. And a big reason why is changeup typically is his best pitch. Only 7% of the time he's throwing the changeup. So he is out there again without his best pitch. 15% curveballs that he has had a tough time getting over the plate.
Here's Mike Carp. Looks to the strike. Mike with base hit to center field. Scored on the Laurie error back in the second inning. Strike 2. Three runs, 5 hits, an error for the Mariners. Ronald 2 hits and an error for Toronto. Didn't miss by a lot.
It's a good fastball at 95 miles an hour, but it was off the plate away.
Ball and 2 strikes. And he went fishing. Mathis will throw down at first and complete it, and that'll do it. Romero's retired 7 in a row. Colby Rasmus, 2 sterling defensive plays here in the 4th inning. Mariners lead at 3-1. Iwakuma threw 4, has struck out 7, and that matches his season best. He'd done it first time against Tampa Bay back on the 20th of July, and I can say pretty good command here tonight.
He has, and he's really done an excellent job of mixing up his pitches, using the off-speed pitches against the club again. That has really swung the bats well this year. You look at him overall, first in runs scored, second in home runs. So he's just trying to keep from throwing them too many fastballs in the middle of the plate. And so far, outside of the home run from Davis, he's been able to do that.
Anthony goes to the right fielder in his 9th game since being called up. He's the leadoff man here against Iwakuma. Fouled back. John Farrell, their manager, said Kenny Lofton with 2 times the arm. Really good base stealing mentality, great arm. I think just a $192 recent call up. Bautista on the shelf for another couple of weeks. It'll be Ghost, Davis, and Rasmus 9-1 and 2 here in the 5th inning. Rajai Davis, a leadoff homer, led off the game with a home run. Mariners come back with 2 in the first. Run scoring on a double play and an RBI by Seager. They score a run on an error by Brett Laurie in the 2nd. Games against Toronto. Then the Mariners travel Thursday, head back east to play the Yankees, Baltimore, and then fly back west to take on the Angels. Coming up tomorrow in game 2, Jason Vargas. He has pitched well. He goes against former Mariner Aaron Laffey, and then Blake Bevan on Wednesday against Carlos Villanueva. Villanueva, good record, 6-0 with a 2.92 ERA. Kuma 2-2. I'm off again.
Take a look at what Vargas and Aaron Lappy. Sorry, wrong graphic. There you go. Jason Vargas on the year, a 3.76 ERA. Aaron Lappy, another left-hander. Former Mariner, 3.22 ERA. Want to see a lot of change-ups in that one.
Yes, indeed.
Those 2 lefties going.
Vargas last 5 starts in July, 4-0 with a 1.46 ERA.
65 pitches for Iwakuma. His high on the year is 95. Did that in his last outing.
He's got a 3-2 pitch here to Ghost. And he walked it, 3rd walk. Leads off the inning with a free pass time for the Banner Bank Building to the future. Everett Aqua Sox. Their pitching staff, they're getting it done. 3.29 ERA. Look at that record, 32-12. Opponents hitting just .231. Dylan Unsworth, 5-0 with 38 strikeouts over 16 walks. And that ball club is in the house here tonight. There's Mike Zunino on the left, #1 draft choice. A couple of home runs already. You say, boys, they were down on the field watching BP earlier today.
Has to be a nice break for them, huh? Get the night off, come out to the ballpark and watch the major leaguers go at it.
Not bad. This is where they want to be. Top of the order, Rajai Davis for the 3rd time. That safely as Ghost is 2 for 2. Base stealing. Dylan Unsworth, pitcher. That's the numbers. His numbers were the ones we just showed. You can't play baseball anymore unless your arms are covered in tattoos.
Like every other sport.
Like Brett Laurie had his shirt, short sleeve shirt on, and he had, boy, there was all kinds of writing on his forearms. You know, I've seen football players with entire Bible verses on their bicep. That's a long sit down, isn't it?
That is.
It better be a
Can't
short
even
first.
imagine how long that would take. Lunch break.
A couple. Shows bunt, takes a strike. Davis, one-time Oakland Athletic. Got a 0-2 pitch. Runner goes. Got a great break. Swung on and fouled off. John Farrell in a tough division, these Toronto Blue Jays. Rajay Davis, his pro career, big league career, started in 06 after bouncing around the minor leagues for 5 years with Pittsburgh. Was at the Giants from 07-08, and then Oakland from 08 through the 10 season, and this is his second year with Toronto. Swing and a miss. He's gone. Checking with Angie Mentek.
Guys, here at the Ford Sports Desk, so the Pirates came into today with a half-game lead for the top wild card spot in the National League, taking on the Cubs in a divisional game. This one taking place in Chicago. And at the top of the fifth inning, Cubs out front 4-2. That's when Anthony Rizzo takes Eric Bedard, the former Mariner, deep for a 3-run shot. Those were the first of 9 runs the Cubs put on the Bucks, and they lead it in our Sterling Bank scoreboard, 14-4. That's a final now, guys.
All right, Angie, thank you. It seems like since he's been called up, things have really clicked with Anthony Rizzo. He had been with San Diego, and it's a big acquisition by the Cubs. His 8th home run. That strikeout of Davis was number 8, season best for Hisashi Iwakuma.
He's able to get it on another slider, staying right around 50% fastballs.
Colby Rasmus, the hitter, a strikeout and a fly to right. 2 outstanding plays in the 4th inning.
Hitting .245, but 18 home runs on the year for Rasmus.
Well struck deep to center field. Going back Saunders, and he's got room, makes the play. Having to tag and get all the way back is Ghost. No throw. That ball exploded off the bat of Rasmus, but Saunders ran it down. Nice job.
First pitch fastball, middle, and Rasmus squares it up. Thought he had some action on that, but Saunders able to make the catch. Ghost with his speed. He was around second, but gets back easy. No problem there.
Franklin Gutierrez coming along. Eric Wedd saying the batting practice yesterday, shagging, running. Good sign. Another test today. Hopefully onward and upward for Goody. Here's Laurie, struck out looking and swinging. Having a good year. Playing almost every day. Did miss some time after falling in a photo deck at Yankee Stadium. Good looking all around players. Got 13 stolen bases, 9 home runs, 38 runs batted in.
Yeah, he did .286. Solid year.
Runner goes, swing and a miss. Montero's throw, got him! Jesus Montero throws out Anthony Ghost to end the 5th. It's 3-1 Mariners. Jays here in the home fifth. Let's take a look at our Land Rover defensive play of the game. Brett Laurie at the dish. Montero with the throw down to second goes. And the Mariners gun him down. Take another look when we get a chance. Here's Peguero to lead it off. A little late.
Well, regardless, it was a strong throw from Montero, but it looks like his hand was in there. He tags him on the elbow. That is close. Again, we get to look at it 5 different times from a bunch of different angles.
1-2 to Peguero. Peguero, Ryan, and Ackley. 8-9-1 here for the Mariners. Into Ricky Romero. Mariners struck out 5. He hasn't walked anybody. Pitch outside. Retired 7 in a row. Hey, up and down, in and out. Strikes out Peguero. 6 strikeout for Romero. 8 in a row retired. Blanket giveaway in the summer. You warm up to the ideal on Friday, August 17th. First 15,000 fans 21 and older will take home a big fuzzy full-size Mariners fleece blanket. For tickets to Mariners fleece blanket night against the Twins, go to mariners.com. One out. Here's Brendan Ryan. Reached on an error by third baseman Brett Laurie, and that scored a run to the gap. It'll get down. Extra bases for Ryan. And he will slam on the brakes. His 14th double comes with 1 out here in the 5th, and the Mariners leading 3-1.
Brendan Ryan been swinging the bat well for a month now. Average keeps climbing for Brendan. Hit the ball hard his first time up. The error by Laurie was a one-hopper right at him, but he finds a gap with this one. Gets himself into scoring position. Good to see the Mariners. Like Romero was starting to settle in, so put a little pressure on him by getting into scoring position. Give Ackley, get back to the top of the lineup, give Ackley a chance to drive in a run. Ackley with a double in the game. He is 1 for 2 with a run scored.
Breaks up a run of 8 consecutive hitters retired. Ryan holds.
Mariners in the game, 3 for 7 with men in scoring position.
And hit by Ryan, the Mariners 6th. Popped up, that will get out of play. Ackley doubled. To right, struck out looking. Slicing fly ball. Snyder coming on, makes the catch. 2 outs. Michael Saunders with a bunt and a ground out to third tonight.
Romero's thrown 73 pitches now, 50 of those for strikes. Did a good job on first pitch strikes tonight. 19 batters faced, 16 first pitch strikes.
The guy that's lost his last 6 in a row.
That's 17 out of 20 now. He looks like he's just decided that he's going to go with his fastball, and if you want to try to beat him on that pitch, because he's over 80% fastballs now.
That's what's working. You got to use it. 0-1. Look out. We're hearing Vin Scully talk about, and I remember watching the 65 World Series Game 7. Koufax didn't have his breaking balls. Threw all fastballs almost the entire game. Like 95% fastballs against a very good Minnesota Twins lineup, and won the game.
And he had a pretty good fastball.
Wow. I'm not putting Romero in the same category. Come on now. I'll be genuflected to me mentioning Mr. Koufax's name. Come on. To your point, if you got, I mean, who was it? Nicholas, if he wasn't hitting the driver, 3-wood was working, stick with that. He used to do that.
Yeah. Well, that's what he has tonight, and you said it at the start of the telecast that Romero hitters have been eliminating pitches off him and basically hitting the fastball. What that'll do for him and where it gets troublesome is he has a good fastball. He's topped out at 95. But he better locate it because it'll only take a couple of them in the middle of the plate when he's going to get hurt. And we've seen that a few times with the Mariners, including the double by Brendan Ryan, to get himself into scoring position. So you can't afford yourself any mistakes.
That's a mistake. Got hammered. One hop off the fence. An easy double. And an RBI for Michael Saunders. 4-1 Mariners. Ryan scores easily on that play.
Michael paying attention. Fastball, fastball, fastball. Here's a 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Up in the zone, about belt high, middle in, and he hits it hard down into the corner. You can see they want to go away. He leaves it in the middle of the plate, middle in, and Michael hits it hard into the corner.
Seventh hit for the Mariners. 4 runs on 7 hits. Here's Montero. Looks at the ball. One zero.
You see trying the off-speed pitch and misses badly with it. Key to the changeup, it has to look out of his hand like it's going to be a fastball and it's going to be in the strike zone. And then if the bottom falls out of it or it settles down below the zone, you can at least get the hitters to try to swing at it. But when you're bouncing it in front of the plate, that's not going to happen. So it's a wasted pitch for him.
Good count here for Montero, 2-0. 3-0. John Jaso's on deck.
There you go, 80% fastballs. He didn't want to pitch to, he didn't want to pitch to Montero. He knows what he's done against left-handers. He has the left-handed hitting Jaso.
Montero, the leading hitter against left-handers in the American League. That's the first walk. So 2 outs, 2 on for the Mariners with a run in. And the pitching coach coming out for a visit, Bruce Walton.
I think if you're going to do that, I like it better for the manager just to put hitters on in that situation. How many times you see pitchers make mistakes and they are trying to just walk him, but they make a mistake, leave a pitch over the plate, and it gets hit hard. And when he got to the 3-0 count, especially, a lot of times that's when you'll see the managers for sure just put him on. But he clearly looked like he was pitching around Montero to get to Jaso. Jaso tonight is 0 for 2, hit into a double play and struck out one.
As we've seen previously, look for a couple of aggressive swings here from Jaso.
Especially if the first 1 or 2 pitches, their fastballs anywhere near the strike zone, he's going to get a hack at them.
There it is. Rasmus has it measured. That'll do it. Mariners leave the couple. 5 in the books. They add a run here to make it 4-1 Seattle.
Seattle Mariners baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by Northern Quest Casino, Spokane's newest destination resort. By Ford, we are local. By Jack in the Box, get the All-American Jack Combo at Jack in the Box. It's a no-nonsense burger with fries and a drink for only $4.99 plus tax. And by Woodmer Brothers Brewing, craft brewing in Portland, Oregon since 1984. Guys, I imagine I'd find one or two of those in there in the pen.
I think you can count higher than that. 4-1. Thank you, Angie. 4-1 Mariners. Hisashi Iwakuma, a season best 8 strikeouts, giving up a run on 2 hits. He'll face Brett Laurie. He was at the dish when Ghost was thrown out to end the 5th, trying to steal.
Well, Mariners put another one up on the scoreboard for him, and he needs to stay away from the walks. 3 walks in this game. He's walked a batter. He walked a batter last inning, lead off the inning, and then he walked a batter the previous inning. And with a 3-run lead, you want to stay away from the walks if you can.
Especially against this ball club. #1 scoring team in the big leagues. 2nd in home runs in the big leagues. Laurie fouls one off.
.75 total for Iwakuma. Again, his season high is 95.
Oh, 2. Swing and a miss. Goodbye to Brett Laurie. His 3rd K tonight. And for Iwakuma, it's his 9th strikeout, a career best.
Take a look at it. Looks like a 2-seam fastball as he swings over the top of it. 87 miles an hour. Iwakuma's 4-seamers 90-91. What a good pitch.
The always dangerous Edwin Encarnacion. Off-speed pitch, a breaking ball in there for a strike.
Been the slowest off-speed pitch we've seen so far at 73 miles an hour.
Took a called 3rd strike last time up. Is it a 0-2 hole?
I don't think he's real happy with Brian Gorman, but that last pitch was a strike.
Tied for 2nd. Home runs in the American League with Curtis Granderson with 28. The 0-2. American League home run leader Adam Dunn with 31 starting today.
So Josh Hamilton hit his 29th today.
He's had a brutal month. I think sub 200 batting average in the month of July. Set up outside. Fly ball, left field, Wells in, Saunders, we're deep. 2 outs. Take the family out to the ball game. Wednesdays are Safeco Field Grand Slam family package nights here at the ballpark, where you can score a ticket, a hot dog, and a Pepsi for as low as $15 for each member of the family. Next event is coming up this Wednesday, 7:10 start time against the Blue Jays. Get your tickets for the whole family. Get them now, Mariners.com/specials. Here's Travis Snyder. Strike out and a walk. That'll get out of play. Taking a lot of time. There's nobody on base. Usually he shuts it down when people get on base. The 0-1. 1-1. Bill Creek's Travis Snyder. 9 strikeouts for Iwakuma, career best. Looking bat. Just past the diving cart, base hit.
Shattered the bat of Snyder, was able to get in on his hands as he muscles this ball into right field. Take a look at it. Right off the label. Carp's dive. Look, he dove over the top of it, but it's just out of his reach. Good effort from Mike. Bring up Escobar. Escobar 1 for 1. He walked in the second inning, then had a base hit to left field in the fourth.
Told you earlier that the Rangers acquired Giovanni Soto. To make that move, they DFA'd your Victoria Alba.
That's surprising. It seemed like Torrealba was a popular guy in that clubhouse.
I'm very surprised by it. I don't know if there was a beef or something. Thought he was doing pretty well as a backup catcher.
Yeah, I don't know.
Soto at Napoli will do the catching for the remainder of the year. Escobar, the hitter, a walk and a base hit to left. Ball one. Four runs, 7 hits, and an error for the Mariners. A run on 3 hits and an error for Toronto. 2 outs, and at first. 1-0 pitch. Fouled off.
Up to 85 now. If Iwakuma can retire Escobar, Eric Wedge maybe try to steal another inning out of Iwakuma. In his last outing, he's been slowly stretching him out, pitching out of the bullpen, and then finally into the rotation. His last outing, 95 pitches.
Runner holds. Iwakuma trying to get his first win as a starter. His only win this year out of the bullpen on June 16th here against the Giants, 7-4, pitched 2 innings. Iwakuma's 6th start. Got a 2-1 count. Tell you what, good breaking ball there. 2-2. Badly fooled Escobar.
Well, he hasn't deviated from that. Even with a 3-run lead, he's staying with his breaking ball. Seeing right around 50% with his fastball and mixing all of his other pitches in. From his slider to his curveball, his split.
2-2 pitch to Escobar. Struck him out. 10 strikeouts for Hisashi Iwakuma through 6. The Mariners enjoy a 4-1 lead, and Brett Laurie having a tough night. He's K'd 3 times, and Bo Jackson's that baseball bat right over his knee. And hey, fans, be sure, check out the all-new Root Sports Game Connect, an interactive second screen experience bringing fans closer to the game with live stats, trends, and analysis. Root Sports Game Connect. Connect now at rootsports.com. How about Hisashi Iwakuma with a career-best 10 strikeouts, and he's got them through 6 innings. Big breaking ball. Strike one to Kyle Seager leading off the home 6, followed by Wells and Carter.
And nobody throwing in the Mariner pen, so it looks like Eric Wedge will send him out there, see if he can get him through the 7th inning, and why not? The way he's been pitching. Gave up the solo home run to start the game off, and then it's been nothing after that. Blue Jays just 3 hits. Kyle Seager's hit the ball hard. A couple of times he had a base hit and an RBI his first time up, and then lined out a great play by Rasmus in center field, diving effort to take a base hit away from Kyle.
And if you're just joining us, yes, it was a 2-out ribby. You can see Romero really overthrow that pitch. 1-2.
Just tell he's been struggling because he doesn't have the same body language that we've seen in the past, where he catches it and is ready to go and going right after hitters.
This with the breaking ball. I was talking to Don Wakamatsu, former Mariner manager and bench coach, and said you could see that in his body language, see it in his face in this run that he's on, losing 6 in a row. And they're really trying to snap him out of it. It's 11-4 before this current run. Oh, look out! Geez, he just got a glove on that. Man, we've already seen an umpire wear one, and Romero almost did there too.
Kyle having a good night swinging the bat. Take a look at this last pitch. It's an off-speed pitch. Kyle's able to stay with it. Hit it right back at the hat of Romero. Goes off the top of his glove. That'll be a base hit for Kyle. He's 2 for 3.
Seager hitting the ball hard.
Take another look at it. Reaches out on an off-speed pitch. Almost caught it trying to get out of the way in self-defense and almost made a play.
Jasper Wells, the hitter, lined out to center. 4th inning. That was the inning where Rasmus made a diving stop on Seager and then made another nice catch on a line drive by Wells. Those kind of comebackers, man, are tough to watch. And obviously, if you're the pitcher throwing it, that's really scary.
Yeah, you see it hit hard. You really have no chance. You're lucky if you're able to deflect it at all. I've played third base, and I know they call it the hot corner, but you're quite a ways away, and you're already in position to field it. When you're pitching and throwing the ball, you're going to be exposed.
90 plus beats Lupus throwing. For Toronto, 90 beats 60 at 6 inches.
And typically out of position 60 feet 6 inches.
That's
and
right,
you're closer and you're out of position because you're usually falling off the mound one way or the other. You know, I haven't talked about it. I'm surprised that more pitchers aren't hit, because as a hitter, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to hit the ball back up the middle.
Yeah, you know, remember the old baseball cards? You always used to see the follow through, and the pitcher's glove was always like right there in a defensive position. But nobody, they've done that 50 years. I mean, follow through.
To think. Probably the only one that I know that can still do that was Jamie Moyer. Jamie was one of the last to do that. Well, these guys are trying to create so much velocity, and they're putting so much into every pitch that
they're driving off that back foot.
Yep, and spinning off of the mound.
Yep. By the time you played, they were out of those pose deals, right? In baseball, I think follow through.
Yeah, that was long gone.
Those are the ones I put on my bike.
You should have kept those.
Tell me about it. But I remember when I first going to games, you never rarely saw. Robin Roberts was one of the few guys that did it. Bouncing ball, Laurie goes to Johnson for one, and they go around the horn. Done Encarnacion for the double play.
about as routine as it gets. Good hop to Laurie at third. Nice long one hopper. Gets rid of it quickly. An accurate throw. Johnson with a strong arm at second finishes the double play. Goes back to some of those football ones. I used to like the ones where they were in the air, like they were flying. Remember that?
Absolutely. Jerry Kramer's a friend of mine.
Yeah.
We used to talk about that stuff.
Who were they diving onto? A mat, I hope.
Yeah.
Those were great. No helmet on, just diving through the air.
Mike Carp's a hitter, 2 outs. The running back would have the leg way over the other way. You never saw that. Come on, what are you doing?
Carp 1 for 2 in the game. He scored a run. Struck out looking his last time up.
Carp coming off a fine afternoon yesterday, going 3 for 4. Run scored and an RBI. Good count here, 2-0.
Why not? Let him swing if he wants to. He's been hot. Swinging the bat well. You have Figueroa waiting on deck. Figueroa has not had a good night. He's punched out a couple times. I might see if he can steal a run for you right here.
Every Mariner fan's on board with him. Takes his walk. Romero's second walk in the ballgame comes with 2 outs in the 6th.
Romero on 96 pitches.
Well, third time around for Figueroa. Made a couple of really bad swings in the 5th inning. Checked his swing and was called out on strikes in the 2nd inning. Pretty effective curveball.
That's the way it usually works. You're 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. He hasn't been able to find home plate with a curveball. You walk up there and the first pitch is in there for a strike. We ever said the game was fair, right?
Hardly. Wasn't back-to-back breaking balls. Got him 0-2. Two to Figueroa. Bounced it. No advance by Carp. Romero struck out 6, walked 2. What about Iwakuma? He struck out 10 while walking 2. Holding Toronto to a run on 3 hits. Carp not a base stealing threat pitch. Could not entice him. 2-2. Boy, I thought that might have been a ring-up job right there.
Well, the good news is Carp will be able to take off at first base. Get a running start. Encarnacion is going to play behind him.
2 outs. Carp will run. Figueroa's got a 3-2 pitch coming. Breaking ball strikes him out. Strikeout number 7 for Romero. We've played 6 here at Safeco Field. 4-1 Mariners.
The Mariners on top by 3-4-1. Angie Mentink here at the Ford Sports Desk. Elsewhere in the division, what has gotten into the Oakland A's? They're 18-4 for the month of July and in second place in the division. We look in on them. Top of the sixth inning, they're hosting the Rays. Matt Joyce breaks a 2-2 tie with a bomb off of A.J. Griffin. That's his 12th of the season. And the Rays lead this one on a Sterling Bank score right now, 3-2 in the seventh. Guys?
All right, Angie, thank you. First pitch swinging. Well, hook shot into the corner, run down by Peguero off the bat of Kelly Johnson. The throw to second is cut off. Lead off double for Johnson here in the seventh inning. Kelly Johnson, that's his 12th double.
Being aggressive, jumping on the first pitch, down and in, drives it out to right field. Peguero's able to keep it from going to the wall. Carlos has a strong arm, fired it back in, but good speed from Johnson, gets in with a double. Next pitch will be number 90 for Iwakuma. We'll see how far Eric Wedge wants to go with him. Pitching to the bottom of the lineup.
And you got action out in the Mariner bullpen. Double-barreled action.
Sean Kelly and Lucas Litke getting loose out in the pen.
Mathis the hitter, 1-0 count. So you got Albert Perez, the left-hander, and Sean Kelly. So Iwakuma, 10 strikeout performance. Runner at second, nobody out. Fly ball left field towards the line. Wells does have a play. One out. Take a look at your wild card standings. The Oakland Athletics and the Angels are right there, and Tampa Bay is make the Toronto's within shouting distance. Rays will see them next homestand. Be some great races to get a shot for that one-game playoff and advance deeper into the playoff situation. Off-speed pitch. It goes for a strike. Two goes tonight, rounded out the first, walked, and was thrown out trying to steal in the fifth inning. One and two.
Looks like a pretty good pitch at the bottom of the strike zone. 94 pitches for Iwakuma.
Swing and a miss. Good pitch by Iwakuma. Strikeout number 11. 2 outs here in the seventh inning.
See the run in the sink on this pitch as it goes out of the strike zone. Starts middle of the plate and runs off the outside corner. That's been a good pitch for him tonight. Good sinking fastball. Rose is not able to lay off of it. Bring up Davis. Davis 1 for 3 with a home run. Started the game off with a solo home run. Then strikeout swinging the next 2 times.
Bunt's foul. Strike one. It's a terrific accomplishment by Hisashi Iwakuma to hold the Jays to 1 run. 6 2/3 innings. They're the #1 scoring team in the major leagues. #2 in home runs.
I think the other thing that Eric Wedge will talk about is and pitching deeper into the game today. That's something we wanted to see from him, going 5 innings his last outing. Pitching here in the 7th. A couple of strikes now on Davis. 97 pitches, so that's a season high for Iwakuma to go with 11 strikeouts.
Iwakuma, outstanding performance tonight, and he is really taking a starch out of the many Blue Jay fans here in the building. Oh, 2. Down low in the dirt, blocked by Montero, 1 and 2.
There you go. More off-speed pitches. It's been 50-52% fastballs, now down to 48%. So he's working hard trying to get through this inning.
Comes the 1-2 to Davis. 102nd, 2 outs. Just got a piece of it.
Next pitch will be 100 for Iwakuma as Montero goes out there trying to figure out what the next sequence of pitches are going to be to Davis. Get him to finish this inning off and then turn it over to the bullpen.
A 1-2 count. Struck him out. Iwakuma, what a performance. A dozen strikeouts through 7 innings. A fabulous outing tonight against the Toronto Blue Jays. 4-1 Mariners. Mariners' 7th inning stretch being brought to you by Captain Morgan. Raise your glass, always in moderation, to life, love, and loot. Good start to this 3-game set with the Toronto Blue Jays. Mariners with a 4-1 lead. Hisashi Iwakuma's been outstanding. A dozen strikeouts against 2 walks, giving up a run on 4 hits. Mariners have had just enough offense against Ricky Romero. Now they'll get a look at their second pitcher tonight. John Farrell going to the bullpen, brings in left-hander Aaron Loup.
Loup's side-arming left-hander. Fastball slider. He will drop down on the lefties. Take a look at his numbers overall this year. Hasn't pitched much, only 8 2/3 inning, 4 strikeouts. He's yet to walk a batter. Opponents Cubs average 161. He'll give Brendan Ryan to lead things off. For the Mariners, Brendan 1 for 2, had a double and scored a run in the 5th inning.
Ricky Romero has lost 6 in a row and on the verge of losing his 7th consecutive ball game.
Well, you look at his numbers, though, overall, the way that he has been struggling, they're pretty good tonight. 6 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs, only 3 of them earned. A couple of walks, 7 strikeouts, 102 pitches for Romero. I don't know what's going on. Snyder
out. See.
Huh. That is strange.
Number 68.
Yeah, going in.
Yep.
Huh.
Yan Gomes, Y-A-N first name. And he moves into left field. So here's Brendan Ryan to lead it off. It's Aaron Luke. Wonder if Mr. Snyder was just traded to another ball club. John Farrell, he's the manager of the ball club, so the trade deadline upon us tomorrow at 1 p.m. Pacific time. You wonder if a deal was made and they had to leave the ball game.
I've seen it one time. Mariner fans maybe remember Jose Cruz. I can remember it happening to him.
Mid-game.
It's strange. Yeah, we were in Milwaukee when he was traded. That was a strange thing.
Hit hard. Right to Kelly Johnson. Again, though, good sign. Brendan Ryan staying up the middle and hitting it hard.
Yeah, 3 good at bats. They hit the ball hard at Laurie at third base. Ended up being an error on Laurie. We got the Mariners a run, but he hit it hard and then doubled in the gap, and then a nice line drive right there at the second baseman. Bring it back, Ackley with a double and a run scored. He's 1 for 3.
Luke from the first base side of the rubber in there for strike. Bender misses. One to count. Shaking hands, so that's a sign that he's been traded. We'll try to get you some information. Don Wakamatsu, the former Mariner manager, strike 3 called. Ackley's dismissed. 2 down here in the 7th. Well, that's got to be tough right in the middle of the ball game.
Yeah, you feel like you're in a good spot most of the time, and you're not sure why this is happening. But hopefully he'll go to a place where he gets to play every day and put up some numbers.
Yep, he's been traded. Yeah, it's tough. Part of business.
Yep.
Strike 1 to Michael Saunders. RBI doubled into the right field corner last time up, and a stellar bunt in the first inning. Travis Snyder of Mill Creek, Washington, saying his goodbyes to his teammates.
Saunders with a good night. 2 for 3. Has a double. Driven in a run and scored a run.
Well, that's the first time I've seen that mid-game. I've seen it on TV.
Strange, isn't it?
You read about it, but boy, that's eerie. Dude, you got to come out of the game. You just been dealt. Oof. Ow.
I wonder if he had any idea.
Might have had a chance for an AB in the 9th inning too. That is tough, and I'm sure that's not the only place it's happened today, or maybe even tonight's the last night. So 1 o'clock Pacific time tomorrow.
I'm sure there'll be a few late phone calls tonight.
2-2 to Saunders. And he swings and misses on the crossfire pitch. That'll do it. We've played 7 here at Safeco. 4-1 Mariners. Mariners lead 4-1. This first of 3 with the Toronto Blue Jays. Hisashi Iwakuma, 12 strikeouts, tying the club rookie record for strikeouts in a game. Randy Johnson, Mark Langston did it 3 times. Freddie Garcia. So he's got some time to establish a new mark. Here's Colby Rasmus to lead it off. Rasmus, Laurie, and Encarnacion.
Eric Wedge sending him out there at 100 pitches, 101 now. Bullpen still getting loose.
Ground ball. Iwakuma does his job and covers first. Put out 4-1. A Tuesday, August 14th, Mariners present a salute to Native American Night. We're going to celebrate the vibrant culture from around the Pacific Northwest, and as part of the event, the first 10,000 fans 21 and older pick up a Mariners t-shirt. Tickets to salute to Native American Night when the Mariners take on the Rays. Go to Mariners.com.
Between innings, I went over and asked Rick Riz, as you see Josh Kinney getting loose in the pen, any other Mariners other than Cruz that he could remember. Rick's been here as long as anybody now. He said, I wasn't here at the time, didn't realize it, but he said Randy Johnson was traded in the middle of a game.
Brent Laurie looks at a strike.
Randy was not pitching, he was just sitting on the bench. 103 for Iwakuma, 72 strikes.
Laurie has struck out 3 times. Off-speed pitch, and Iwakuma's ahead of him 0-2. Boy, he get a double bonus here on this strikeout. And a golden sombrero for Laurie and a rookie record. Pitch. Strike 3 call, he got it! The golden sombrero. Laurie Case for the 4th time, and for Iwakuma, a Mariner rookie record with 13 strikeouts in a ball game.
Just a perfect pitch. It's a fastball on the outside corner after the 72-mile-an-hour breaking ball. He comes back with a fastball. Laurie takes it for strike 3.
A double word score. 2 outs. Popped up.
The other thing he's done is worked ahead of hitters. 32 batters he has faced, 24 first pitch strikes for Iwakuma. Take a look at what he has done. You can see how much he's really mixed up his pitches tonight. Between the four-seamer, his splitter, the sinker, slider, he's thrown everything at him, so he's really kept him off balance tonight.
Travis Snider was traded to the Pirates. There's a breaking ball and a beauty. 0-2 to Encarnacion. Brad Lincoln obtained by Toronto from Pittsburgh for Travis Snider. The 0-2 to Encarnacion. Down low. Crowd of 22,443 here on hand at Safeco Field. Iwakuma, 1-2 pitch to Encarnacion. Skied it. Short center field. Saunders coming in. Makes the play. Iwakuma, 8 strong innings against a robust offensive team, the Toronto Blue Jays. 4-1 Mariners. Flowers Roots Sports Crew saw something unique tonight. Well, first of all, Hisashi Iwakuma, he deserves a smile broadly. 13 strikeouts, a Mariner rookie record for strikeouts in a game. He's done after 109 pitches. Great job tonight.
Not an easy task when you look at the offense of the Blue Jays, the #1 scoring team in the American League, second in home runs. And he gives up just the 4 hits. They give up 1 solo home run to start the game off, but after that he was just lights out. An excellent job of mixing up your pitches and keeping an opposing team off balance. 13 strikeouts. Wow.
Good job. Andrew Carpenter takes over. Third pitcher tonight.
Never for Carpenter. Another pitcher that's recently been called up. Only 7 innings pitched for him. 8 strikeouts. He's given up 4 home runs over those 7 innings.
We're just joining his moments last inning when the Mariners hit bat. Travis Snider was out on the field, was pulled out of the game because he was traded to the Pittsburgh Pirates for a pitcher named Brad Lincoln. The Pirates are not messing around. Travis Snider's a nice piece to add to that ball club offensively and put him in the outfield. Another bat.
You look at Pittsburgh, they were 3 games back of Cincinnati. National League Central going into the start of today. 2 wild card positions available out there. Might get a chance to get into the postseason.
Line drive right to Laurie. 1 out. Ball got pulverized. 1 down in the 8th. Hey kids, on the Mariners play on the Safe Go Field Diamond. You're invited to play in the area made just for you, the Seattle Children's Playfield. It's located on the main concourse in center field. While you're there, make sure you pay a visit to the Moose Den to have your photo taken with none other than the MVP of the franchise, the Mariner Moose. One out in the 8th. Here's John Jason. Jason tonight bounced into a double play, which brought in a run, struck out looking. Third time up, fly to center.
Josh Kinney continuing to throw in the Mariners' pen.
Two and one to John Jason. Pitches outside, 3-1. Ball 4 to Jason. John's aboard. 8th inning, 1 out. Brings up Kyle Seager.
Kyle's had a good night, 2 for 3 tonight. Hit the ball hard all 3 times. Rasmus, the center fielder, made a diving catch, rob him of a hit. Also has an RBI in the game.
Report has moved on the wire. Ryan Sweeney Monday night injured his left hand. How did he do it? He punched the door between the dugout and the Sox clubhouse at Fenway Park after grounding out in the 8th inning.
So he's looking like he's going to have his second stint on the DL.
That never works.
Door usually wins.
Oh, off the fist popped up. Laurie has got room. Two outs. Here's Casper Wells. 0 for 3. Ground out to second. Line out to center and bounced into a double play. Josh Kinney, he is totally heated up, ready to go. Pitch the 9th. Ball 1. Mariners got 2 runs in the bottom of the 1st inning after Rajai Davis led off the game with a home run. Saunders scored on a bases loaded double play. Seager singled in a run with 2 outs. A Laurie error in the 2nd inning plated a run. Jaso takes off. The throw down to second. Not in time. Stolen base, John Jaso. He's 2 for 2 on the season.
Take a look at the jump from Jaso. It's a good one. Poor throw by Mathis as Jaso slides in safe, gets himself in the scoring position with 2 outs.
Life in the fast lane, you bet. John Jaso. That's what they played with him stealing second base. RBI double by Saunders in the 5th inning. I counted for the 4th run. 1-1 count here to Wells. Takes a strike.
Guys out in the pen. Sean Kelly was up earlier, so was Perez. They're sitting down relaxing at this point.
1-2. Outside. Whitkey and Steve Delabar. Good night for spectating for the fellas down there. Josh Kenny's ready to go. Two-two pitch, runner at second. Fouled it off.
Tried to run it in on Casper's hands. Pitch was off the plate inside, but too close to take. See that fifth pitch in on his hands.
Two and two. Bounced up there. Jaso gets the third easily as Mathis couldn't find it. Went up the first baseline.
That will definitely be a wild pitch. It bounced out in front of home plate. He did well just to keep it in front of him, even though he didn't know where it went after it hit him. You could see him having to stand up, hit him in the hip. Having to stand up to block that pitch because it was so far out in front of home plate. Mariners are 4 for 10 with men in scoring position. See if Casper can add to that.
Payoff here to Wells. Is it back? American League West action. Angels won at Texas 15-8. Top of the ninth. Tampa Bay and Oakland 3-3 as Wells looks at ball 4. The Carpenters walk 2. Runners at the corners. Root Sports. We're looking for the biggest Mariner fans in the Northwest. Run state to state. Find the most passionate in our region. This month we want to hear from devoted fans in Montana. Big Sky Country. Log on to rootsports.com and show us why you're the Mariners' ultimate Northwest fan. Mike Carp. Single, run scored, a strikeout, and a walk. Go low, ball 1. Back safely is Casper Wells. Ground ball fielded by Kelly Johnson, flips to Escobar. That'll do it. Here we go to the ninth. Mariners lead it 4-1. Josh Kenny looking for the final 3 outs.
Sports is brought to you by Snoqualmie Casino, Seattle's premier entertainment, gaming, and dining destination. By Sterling Bank, life is about the good stuff. Your bank should be too. Visit our new website at bankwithsterling.com. And by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network, AT&T, rethink possible. Top the ninth. Go upstairs today.
Gorgeous city view here in Seattle. Glad you're with us, everybody. Thank you, Angie. Take a look at our Nissan shift to the bullpen of the Seattle Mariners, and it brings us to Josh Kenny.
Save opportunity for Kenny. See what he's done so far. 7 innings pitched for him, 9 strikeouts. Opponent's average is 125. Good ERA to 2.57. So he his 9th game.
Ninth inning. Yan Gomes, this would have been the spot for Travis Snyder, but he was traded about a half hour ago to Pittsburgh. Took for Brad Lincoln, a pitcher. Gomes first at bat tonight. And a first pitch strike by Kenny. Sashi Iwakuma in line for his first win as a starter. Fabulous performance tonight by the right-hander. And Josh Kenny ahead, 0-2.
That's what you like to see. Coming out of the pen, throwing some strikes. First pitch strike with a fastball, and is able to get his slider over for a strike.
0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. One down.
Look at the line for Iwakuma tonight. Career high in innings pitched with 8. 4 hits, 1 run. It was a solo home run. 13 strikeouts. Career high. Pitches thrown, 109 pitches thrown for Iwakuma. 77 of those 4 strikes tonight. 3 walks. But just what an effort from Iwakuma. Again, pretty tough lineup to work your way through, and he was great going through 8 innings tonight's game.
Escobar takes the ball. Escobar tonight, walk, base hit to left, and a strikeout. 2-0. Back with a strike. Pitch. 2-2.
Well, he likes his slider, and so far tonight he's had good command of it. See him get that slider down in the zone a little bit more, but he is able to get a strike with it.
2-2 pitch. They got him. That's Kenny out of the bullpen dealing. Strikes out the first 2 men that he faced here in the 9th.
Does a good job of expanding the strike zone, throwing the slider off the plate away. Escobar can't check his swing.
With 2 outs, Kelly Johnson the hitter, second baseman.
David Cooper came out on deck. He will pinch hit for Mathis, the starting catcher.
Down low to Kelly Johnson, who reached on a throwing error by Iwakuma. Struck out, doubled to right. Two-0. Two-0 pitch. Way outside. 27 is always the most difficult. And a 4-pitch walk. David Cooper will do some pinch hitting now.
Lucas Litke looks like he's ready to go. The left-hander out in the pen. And that'll bring out Eric Wedge.
David Cooper just called up today from Las Vegas, his second stint with the ball club. Minor leagues, a .314 hitter. So Kenny had a chance to close this baby out. He walks the third man that he faced on 4 pitches. Lucas Litke for the final out.
Today's Tracer Technology is brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
Lucas Litke on. Face left-handed hitter David Cooper with 2 outs and 1 on here in the ninth, with the Mariners leading 4-1 against the Toronto Blue Jays.
Lucas, good numbers on the year. He'll do it with a fastball around 89, 90 miles an hour. Uses a slider against the lefties. That's his best pitch. 29 strikeouts for Lucas over the 28 2/3 innings that he has pitched. Opponents average just 188, and his ERA 1.88.
Just called up today. David Cooper called up from the Las Vegas AAA affiliate. David Cooper, .314, 10 homers, 52 runs batted in. So we meant that was down to AAA. Second time around with the Blue Jays this season. Runner goes. It'll be to second on indifference as Cooper takes strike 1. Litke from the first base side of the rubber. Swing. This 0-2.
A couple of good sliders from Lucas as Sean Kelly starts to heat up. You have Ghost waiting on deck. He's a left-handed hitter. Davis, the right-hander, top of the lineup.
Strike away. Litke, the 0-2 pitch. Ground ball. Ryan has the backhand. Jump throw. Carp scoop. Yes, sir. Got a ball game over. Mariners win it 4-1. On a brilliant performance by Hisashi Iwakuma. A rookie record 13 strikeout performance. And the Mariners beat the Blue Jays by the count of 4-1. And Mike, they go to 9 games under 500 for the first time since June 12th.
Yeah, how about the Mariners? 5 in a row for the Mariners. A couple of good offensive nights tonight. Kyle Seager again with another 2-out RBI. Had a couple of hits in the game in tonight's ball game. Mike Carp continues to swing the bat well. Carp with a base hit in the game tonight. But really the story is Iwakuma and the job that he did. 13 strikeouts for Iwakuma, going 8 innings, throwing 109 pitches, career highs for him. And he definitely will be the story. Lucas Lidke getting his first save of his career.
Outstanding work. 5th straight win. Hot Ball Club, 4-1 Mariners. Brad and Dave Valley, it's all yours.
Gentlemen, thank you. How about Hisashi Iwakuma? First, there was Freddie Garcia, Mark Langston, Randy Johnson. They all had 12 strikeouts as Mariners rookies. Now, there is Iwakuma. He stands alone, Val, 13. Unbelievable tonight.
And that is Kuma with a K. Because I tell you, he was absolutely outstanding. He's had 2 very good successive starts, but he got no decisions in those. Didn't get that run support, but he got some early run support again today from the Mariner offense, and that's something that they've been doing quite a bit of. And Iwakuma, I tell you, he's just gotten better and better with each start, so it's great to see him get that first win tonight as a starter.
That's right. Iwakuma evens his record at 2-2. Much more on the Felix-like performance by Iwakuma. Now, you mentioned early offense down to the field. Jen Mueller standing by with Michael Saunders tonight, Jen.
Michael Saunders, part of that 2-run first, and then drove in a run later in the game. And Michael, earlier today, Eric was talking about how you guys seem to just be more relaxed in the last few days. Is that what we're seeing at the plate with this offense?
Yeah, I think so. Absolutely. I think we're, we're taking some pretty good ABs from 1 through 9 and keeping it pretty consistent throughout the ball game. We got on a pretty good pitcher early today. I've never seen Kuma throw a better game than that. So give him a little bit of early run support. It was big for us.
We will get to the catch that you made because Kuma didn't give you guys very much to work with out there. It was kind of like a day off. But what's your view from center field when you have a pitcher who's dealing?
His ball is just moving everywhere. He's done a great job for us, as soon as he moved in the starting rotation. And, it's a big park out there. And, Rasmus drove it pretty well. But, making a catch at the wall. And then he kind of shut down their offense tonight.
So go to that catch at the wall because off the bat it sounds pretty good. In fact, I'm pretty sure Rasmus thought he had a home run. But at what point did you know it was staying in the park?
Well, he hit a low liner. And, typically, Safeco plays pretty big in centers, so we can't give up on anything. And, maybe if he got under that ball a little bit more, I might have had a shot. But, he hit a low liner, squared it up, but stayed in.
And finally, the RBI that you had late in the game, you've been hitting Toronto pitching pretty well all year long. Is that just the way that you've been playing against Toronto? More evidence of what you've been working on with your swing?
I don't know. I was excited to see the guys coming to town.
Hear the Canadian anthem, probably.
Yeah, it was nice to hear the Canadian anthem, although we're getting booed pretty bad out here. All the West Coast Canadian come down. But, we've played great ball the last couple series, and we're looking to take it into this series and keep the ball rolling.
All right, season-high 5-game winning streak, Brad. Plenty of reasons for Michael to be glad Toronto's in town.
Absolutely, Jen. Thank you very much.
Didn't he mean to say keep the train rolling?
Absolutely.
That's what I
and the
thought.
guy who sang the Canadian anthem word for word, Dave Val. I was very impressed, Val.
I played a summer up in Calgary.
Unbelievable.
I know it.
And a good voice, and you knew it. Almost as good as Iwakuma was on the mound tonight. Gives up a home run to the leadoff batter, Roger Davis, and then it was lights out. Like the Blue Jays didn't know what was coming, and if they did, they sure couldn't hit it, Val.
Well, we saw a lot of funny swings from the Toronto Blue Jays today, but Iwakuma was very good with all of his pitches. He's got a very sneaky fastball. He's got that real slow delivery, very deliberate, but he had a good split finger fastball that he was throwing, and then they started looking for that, and he was painting the corners. He didn't make any mistakes on the middle part of the plate. Whenever a pitcher has a good outing, typically they're staying away from that right down Broadway there. But Iwakuma today, again, a solid outing, followed up by 2 consecutive outings, and Iwakuma finally gets win number 1 as a starter. Tough night for Brett Laurie.
They struck out 4 times.
That's a golden sombrero right there.
Exactly. I like Davis, who has the home run to lead off the game. Iwakuma then shuts him down. He strikes him out 3 times. And Laurie, again, just no clue, no idea what was coming from Iwakuma tonight. Again, 8 strong innings, just 4 hits. 8 innings, a career high, by the way. 13 strikeouts, a career high. A new Mariners rookie record. 109 pitches, all career highs for Iwakuma. He had to go back to Japan to deal with a family situation. He came back yesterday and pitched fantastic here tonight as the Mariners take game 1 of the set by a score of 4-1.
No jet lag
No jet lag at all. No, if he did, though, well, maybe he did, and he pitched really well. I don't know what it was, but a winning combination tonight is Lucas Litke getting his first save. 5 straight wins for the Mariners, and you figure Brendan Ryan would have a hand in this one. What a play to end the game. The jump, the throw, the scoop by Carp. The final touches on the 4-1 win tonight. More from Iwakuma, more on this offense, and just good Mariners baseball here to get to on the postgame on Root Sports.